dive into today's episode, I just want to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us. It helps us grow, reach more amazing learners like you, and keep bringing you fresh and fun content every week. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and let's keep this journey going strong. Hello there, our absolutely fantastic global community of language learners. A huge warm welcome back to another episode of Idiom Insights. I'm Emma, your companion on this continuous journey into the vibrant heart of the English language. It's always such a highlight to connect with you and explore these captivating phrases together. Thank you for tuning in.
And a massive, enthusiastic hello from me too. It's Jack, your co-host and fellow word voyager, ready once again to navigate the sometimes tricky, but always rewarding currents of idiomatic English. Welcome back to Idiom Insights. You know, Emma, reflecting on today's idioms, covering loyalty, surrender, willful ignorance, and protest, it strikes me how much they deal with human resilience and reaction to challenging circumstances. They seem to map out different ways we cope and respond when things get tough or complicated.
That's a very insightful perspective, Jack. They really do map out those responses. Understanding these specific ways of framing situations, the unwavering support implied by enduring thick and thin, the finality of throwing in the towel, the complex motivations behind turning a blind eye, and the collective outrage of being up in arms, helps learners decode not just the situation, but the speaker's entire stance towards it. Are they being supportive, resigned, complicit, or rebellious? Grasping this deeper layer of meaning is truly essential for navigating social interactions and understanding cultural perspectives embedded within the language.
Couldn't agree more. It's like having a more sophisticated emotional compass for conversations. So let's calibrate our compasses today. On this episode of Idiom Insights, packed with context and explanation, we are going to meticulously explore these 4 powerful expressions. First, enduring all circumstances, through thick and thin, a testament to loyalty and commitment. Next, admitting defeat, throw in the towel. We'll revisit this act of surrender, perhaps focusing on the why. Then, choosing deliberate ignorance, turn a blind eye. We'll look again at this complex choice and its potential consequences. And finally, expressing strong collective protest, up in arms, when people are ready to fight back, figuratively speaking.
A truly potent quartet today, Jack, touching upon steadfastness, surrender, complicity, and rebellion. Before we delve into the nature of loyalty that endures through thick and thin, we'd just love to offer that quick, friendly reminder from your Idiom Insights hosts. If you find these explorations beneficial and want to ensure you never miss a single idiom deep dive, please do take just a second to hit that subscribe or follow button on your favorite podcast platform. It keeps you effortlessly in the loop.
Please do. We'd hate for you to miss out on any light bulb moments. And as always, your likes and positive ratings are incredibly encouraging. They act as signposts, helping other curious learners find idiom insights and letting us know that our efforts are hitting the mark. Your support means the world. Right, friendly encouragement delivered. Emma, let's start with unwavering support. Through thick and thin. What kind of situations or relationships does this phrase describe? It sounds like enduring hardship is key.
Hardship is definitely part of it, Jack, but it's broader than that. The phrase through thick and thin means supporting or remaining loyal to someone or something through all circumstances, both good times and bad times, easy times and difficult times. The thick likely represents the difficult, dense, hard-to-navigate situations, like thick mud or forest, while thin represents the easier, clearer times. So sticking by someone through thick and thin signifies unwavering commitment, loyalty, and support, regardless of the changing fortunes or challenges faced. It's the epitome of steadfastness in a relationship or commitment.
Unwavering commitment regardless of circumstances. That really emphasizes the depth of loyalty involved. It's not just about tolerating hardship, it's about being consistently present and supportive across the entire spectrum of life's experiences. It's often used to describe truly strong friendships. We've been best friends since childhood and stuck together through thick and thin. Or long, successful marriages. They've been married for 50 years, facing all sorts of challenges through thick and thin. It implies a bond that has been tested by adversity and proven strong. It's the opposite of a fair-weather friend who disappears when things get tough. This idiom suggests deep roots and resilience.
Exactly, Jack. That resilience and proven strength over time is often implied. It speaks volumes about the quality of the relationship or the depth of the commitment. It suggests reliability and trustworthiness. Knowing someone will be there for you through thick and thin provides immense security and comfort. It's a high compliment to pay to a friendship, a partnership, or even sometimes loyalty to a team or cause, suggesting dedication that isn't swayed by temporary setbacks or difficulties. It's about enduring loyalty that has weathered storms.
Weathered storms. A perfect metaphor. Let's hear how Mia and Mark discuss this enduring type of support. Who are they admiring for their steadfastness?
Mark, I was talking to my grandparents on the phone yesterday. They just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. Isn't that incredible?
60 years. Wow, that truly is amazing in this day and age. They must have seen so much change together over all those decades. Did they have a big celebration?
Just a quiet family dinner, which is what they wanted. But talking to them, I was just thinking about everything they must have experienced together since they got married back in the early 1960s. Financial struggles when they were young, raising 3 children, dealing with illnesses, job changes, house moves. It can't always have been easy.
Absolutely not. 60 years inevitably includes periods of stress, worry, and hardship alongside all the happy times. It takes real commitment and resilience to navigate all of that together as a couple for so long.
Exactly, and they always seem so supportive of each other, even now. My grandma was saying how my granddad was her absolute rock when she had that serious operation a few years back, and he was just saying how her optimism always kept him going during tough financial times early on. They have genuinely been there for each other through thick and thin.
It sounds like it. That kind of enduring partnership, supporting each other through all of life's ups and downs, the good times and the bad. That's what through thick and thin really means. It's a testament to their love and commitment. What a wonderful milestone for them.
That's a beautiful example highlighting the long-term commitment implied by the idiom. Mia uses through thick and thin to describe the unwavering support her grandparents have shown each other throughout their long marriage, encompassing both joys and hardships.
Yes, and Mark agrees, defining the phrase through their example of enduring partnership across all circumstances. It perfectly captures the meaning of steadfast loyalty over time, weathering all storms together. So, listeners, who has been there for you through thick and thin?
Now, from enduring hardship, let's revisit the act of surrender. Our second idiom today is throw in the towel. Jack, we've touched on this before, noting its boxing origins and meaning of quitting or admitting defeat. Can we perhaps explore the psychology behind this decision a bit more today? What leads someone to finally take this step?
That's a great angle, Emma. Why does someone finally throw in the towel? It's rarely an easy decision. Often it comes after a prolonged period of struggle, frustration, and diminishing hope. The person might have tried multiple solutions, invested significant effort or resources, and repeatedly failed to achieve their goal or overcome the obstacle. Throwing in the towel often signifies a point of exhaustion, physical, mental, or emotional, where the person simply feels they have nothing left to give, or that continuing the struggle is causing more harm than potential benefit. It can be a painful acceptance of limits or failure.
Acceptance of limits, or the realization that the cost of continuing is too high, those seem like key psychological triggers. It might involve reassessing the situation and concluding that success is genuinely impossible, or that the effort required is disproportionate to the potential reward. Sometimes throwing in the towel can actually be a rational, even healthy decision, allowing someone to cut their losses, conserve energy, and redirect their efforts towards something more achievable or worthwhile. It's not always about weakness. It can be about strategic withdrawal or recognizing insurmountable odds. Though, of course, it often feels like failure at the time.
That's a crucial point. It can be strategic, not just surrender. It avoids the sunk cost fallacy of continuing to invest in something just because you've already invested so much. However, there's usually an emotional component too. It might involve overcoming pride, admitting defeat publicly or privately, and letting go of a cherished goal or dream, which can be difficult. The idiom itself, with its definitive throwing action, suggests a conscious decision to end the struggle, marking a clear endpoint, whether that endpoint brings relief, disappointment, or a mixture of both.
Consciously ending the struggle. Yes. Let's listen to Mia and Mark again. We'll use a different scenario this time. What prolonged effort is finally being abandoned?
Mark, remember how I decided back in January that I was going to finally learn to play the guitar? I bought that lovely acoustic guitar, found an online tutorial course, downloaded the chord charts.
Yes, I remember your initial enthusiasm. You were practicing every evening for the first few weeks. How's it been going lately? Are you ready to serenade me yet?
Serenade you? Mark, I can barely form a single chord without my fingers cramping up and making a horrible buzzing sound. Honestly, I have persevered. I've practiced scales, tried different finger positions, watched countless videos. I've genuinely tried my best for months now.
Learning guitar is notoriously difficult at the beginning. That initial stage of building finger strength and coordination takes a lot of patience and persistence.
Patience and persistence I might have, but maybe I just don't have the aptitude. My progress has been absolutely minimal. It still sounds dreadful. My fingers ache constantly. And frankly, I'm just not enjoying it at all anymore. It feels like a chore, not a pleasure. I spend an hour practicing and just end up feeling frustrated and incompetent.
Oh dear. If you're genuinely not enjoying it and feel you're making no progress after months of real effort, well, maybe it's okay to stop. Not every hobby is for everyone.
That's what I've decided. I gave it a really good try, I honestly did. But I think it's time to admit defeat. This just isn't for me. I'm officially throwing in the towel on my guitar playing ambitions. Maybe I'll try the ukulele instead. Fewer strings.
Ah, the abandoned musical ambition. Mia clearly outlines her sustained effort over months, her lack of progress, her frustration, and her loss of enjoyment.
Exactly. Her decision to throw in the towel comes after a genuine attempt and a realistic assessment that the struggle isn't yielding results or bringing pleasure. It signifies her conscious decision to stop striving in this particular area, accepting it's not for her. It shows the idiom marking the end point of a frustrating effort. Listeners of Idiom Insights, when is it wise to throw in the towel, and when should you keep going?
Now let's revisit another familiar but complex idiom. Turn a blind eye. Emma, we know it means deliberately ignoring wrongdoing. Today, perhaps we can focus more on the implications or the social function it sometimes serves, even if problematic.
That's a very interesting angle, Jack. While turning a blind eye fundamentally means consciously ignoring something wrong, its social function can be complex. Sometimes, it might be argued, it serves to maintain social harmony or avoid escalating conflict over relatively minor infractions. Think about a close-knit community or family. Strictly enforcing every single minor rule or calling out every small impropriety might lead to constant friction and resentment. Occasionally, turning a blind eye to something insignificant might be seen by some as a necessary social lubricant, a way of picking your battles to maintain overall peace, provided the issue being ignored is genuinely minor and doesn't cause harm.
That idea of picking your battles and maintaining harmony over minor issues makes sense, although it's a slippery slope, isn't it? Where does a minor infraction end and problematic behavior begin? There's also the function it can serve in maintaining existing power structures. People might turn a blind eye to questionable actions by those in authority because challenging them is too risky or feels futile. In these cases, turning a blind eye becomes a form of passive acceptance or even complicity, allowing problematic situations to persist because those who see them choose inaction out of self-preservation or a feeling of powerlessness. So the function can range from arguably benign social lubrication to enabling serious issues.
Absolutely, Jack. That spectrum is crucial. The consequences of turning a blind eye can vary enormously depending on what is being ignored. Ignoring a child sneaking an extra biscuit is very different from ignoring bullying in a school or corruption in a workplace. The idiom itself simply describes the act of deliberate ignoring, but the moral weight and the societal impact depend entirely on the context. It forces us to question, what is the cost of not seeing, not speaking up? Who benefits and who suffers when we choose to turn a blind eye?
The cost of not seeing, a powerful question. Let's revisit Mia and Mark. We'll use a fresh scenario to explore this deliberate non-intervention. What are they witnessing or discussing this time?
Mark, did you notice Mr. Henderson's son, Leo, parking his car this morning? He parked it right across the bottom of our driveway again, not completely blocking us in, but making it really awkward to get our car out easily.
Leo parked across the drive again? Honestly, we've asked him politely several times not to do that because it makes maneuvering so difficult, especially when we're in a rush. Did you say anything to him this time?
Well, I opened the front door just as he was getting out of his car. He saw me, clearly knew he shouldn't be parking there. Looked slightly embarrassed, but then just kind of hurried off down the street without acknowledging me.
So he knew he was doing it, saw you see him, and just ignored you? That's incredibly rude and inconsiderate. Why didn't you shout after him or insist he move it?
Mark, honestly, I just couldn't face the confrontation this morning. I had that important early meeting. I was already running slightly late, and I knew trying to argue with Leo about his parking would just turn into a whole unpleasant drama that I didn't have the time or energy for right then.
So you just let him get away with it, even though it inconveniences us and he knows he shouldn't do it?
Yes, for this morning, just this once, because I didn't have time for the hassle. I just decided to turn a blind eye. I managed to get the car out with a bit of awkward shuffling. It's wrong, I know, but sometimes choosing not to engage feels like the only way to avoid a bigger conflict when you just don't have the capacity. I decided to turn a blind eye today, but if he does it again tomorrow...
That's a very relatable example of choosing inaction for the sake of convenience or avoiding immediate conflict, even when knowing something is wrong.
Exactly. Mia explicitly uses turn a blind eye twice to describe her conscious decision not to confront Leo about his inconsiderate parking at that specific moment, primarily because she lacked the time and energy for the potential argument. It perfectly illustrates the idiom meaning deliberately ignoring something wrong, often for pragmatic, though perhaps not principled, reasons. Listeners, do you think Mia was right to turn a blind eye in that specific situation?
And finally, let's move from ignoring problems to reacting very strongly against them. Our fourth idiom today suggests vigorous protest. Up in arms. Jack, this clearly implies anger and readiness for conflict, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, Emma. The phrase up in arms means being very angry, protesting strongly, and actively resisting or objecting to something, often as a group. The arms here likely refers to weapons. So being up in arms historically meant people were literally taking up weapons to fight against something they strongly opposed. Metaphorically, it retains this sense of strong, angry, active opposition and readiness for conflict, though usually the weapons are now words, protests, petitions, or other forms of vigorous objection. It signifies a strong, often collective, outrage.
Strong, collective outrage. That's a great summary. It implies more than just individual disagreement. It often describes the reaction of a group of people who are united in their anger and protest against a decision, event, or policy they perceive as unfair, harmful, or unacceptable. You might hear that local residents are up in arms about the council's plan to close the library, or employees were up in arms when the company announced cuts to their pension benefits. It suggests a significant level of mobilization and vocal opposition. It's not passive grumbling, it's active resistance.
That active, vocal, often group resistance is key. It implies the issue has provoked a strong emotional reaction and a determination to fight back or demand change. You wouldn't describe mild disagreement as being up in arms. The phrase is reserved for situations where anger and protest are widespread and vigorously expressed. It signals a serious level of discontent that policymakers or authorities usually cannot ignore easily because the opposition is so strong and united. It's a powerful description of collective anger demanding attention.
Yes, it definitely demands attention. Let's hear Mia and Mark's final conversation. What has provoked such a strong reaction?
Mark, have you seen the local community forum online this morning? It's absolutely buzzing, or maybe exploding is a better word.
Oh, what's happened now? Is it another debate about recycling bins or something more serious this time?
Much more serious. Apparently, the council held a planning meeting late last night, and with very little prior public consultation, they approved the proposal to build that massive block of luxury apartments right on the edge of the park. You know, the one that will block the sunlight from dozens of homes and destroy that little community wildlife garden?
They approved that proposal, but I thought there was huge local opposition to it. Weren't there petitions and letters sent in? Didn't they promise more consultation?
Exactly. Everyone thought there would be more discussion. So, the news that it was approved seemingly sneakily last night has just broken online this morning, and people are absolutely furious. The forum is flooded with angry comments, people calling the decision undemocratic, disgraceful.
I can imagine. People feel ignored and overridden after being promised consultation. So, what's the general reaction? Are people just complaining online?
Oh, it's way beyond just online complaining. People are already organizing an emergency protest meeting for this evening. They're talking about contacting newspapers, lobbying local councilors, even staging a demonstration outside the council offices tomorrow. Honestly, the whole community seems to be up in arms about it.
Wow, so it's not just grumbling, it's organized, angry protest? Sounds like the council seriously misjudged the public mood on this one. When people get this up in arms, they usually don't back down easily.
That dialogue clearly depicts a situation of widespread, angry opposition. The council's decision, perceived as unfair and made without proper consultation, has provoked a strong reaction.
Absolutely. Mia uses up in arms to describe the community's collective fury and active mobilization, organizing protests, contacting media, and Mark echoes this, acknowledging the seriousness of the situation when people become so strongly opposed. It perfectly captures the idiom's meaning of vigorous, angry, collective protest. Listeners of Idiom Insights, what kind of issues tend to get your community up in arms?
And with that powerful image of collective resistance, we conclude our deep dive into 4 more fascinating English idioms. It's been great exploring these nuances together. Let's quickly recap the phrases we've dissected today.
Another thoroughly engaging session. Today on Idiom Insights, we covered through thick and thin, supporting someone or something in all circumstances, good and bad. Throw in the towel, to quit or admit defeat, especially after a struggle. Turn a blind eye, to deliberately ignore something wrong or problematic. Up in arms, very angry and protesting vigorously, often as a group.
Excellent. We genuinely hope that our expanded conversations today, digging deeper into the motivations, implications, and nuances behind these common idioms, have helped solidify your understanding and confidence. Remember, the more you understand the why, the better you can use the what.
Beautifully said. Keep paying attention to context. Keep being curious about meaning. And if you found today's episode of Idiom Insights both useful and stimulating for your English learning, we would be immensely grateful if you could take a brief moment to leave us a like, a rating, or even a short positive review. Your support truly inspires us.
And please make sure you are subscribed or following Idiom Insights. It ensures you join us automatically for our next exploration into the wonderfully complex and expressive world of English idioms. We love sharing this journey with you.
We truly do. Thank you for your valuable time and focus today. Until next time, keep learning with enthusiasm, practice with purpose, and enjoy the amazing adventure of language. Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone. Take care, be well, and hopefully you won't need to be up in arms about anything this week. Happy learning.